Okay, so book clubs are something that I really, really love. It's such a nice way to have guaranteed sales every month. So I started doing book clubs a couple of years ago. For the past 2 years, actually, I ran a Hostess of the Month book club, which was basically I had 10 hostesses for 10 months, February to November, and each of them committed to $20 a month. That was $20 before tax, before shipping. They had to they got to pick out whatever books they wanted. So sometimes people would order $50 worth of books, sometimes they would stick to the 20. It really didn't matter as long as they were doing their minimum. And then when they signed up, they got to choose what month they wanted to be the hostess. So the February hostess got all of the hostess rewards that month. um Sorry, there's something in the chat. Yes, don't forget to screenshot yourself and put it in the sweepstakes album. um So when they signed up, they got to choose what month they wanted to be the hostess, and it was a guaranteed party every month because 10 people, $20. It was a guaranteed party, so everybody was guaranteed to get the hostess rewards at least one time. And then they also had the opportunity to also have a house party or a Facebook party if they wanted to try to bump up their sales, which almost everyone always did. I think I only had one girl who didn't want to have a party one time, but other than that, everybody would bump it up. And so sometimes I would have like $500 sales just for my book club, just from people having their party. So like I said, they got to pick out their own books. And I also did extra stuff. Like I have a private group with just my book club members in it. And so every month, right before it was about to be time for them to have their orders into me and my son would do a live video, and we would pick 3 names out because the hostess would get one of the customer specials, and then we would do 3 draws. So 3 out of the other 9 people would get the opportunity to also buy one of the half price customer specials. And so we would just do a live draw, and 3 people plus the hostess would get to have the half price customer special if they wanted to. If they passed on it, then we would just pick another name until they were all sold or all taken. And then I also just did extra little giveaways for it. So like every month I would just draw for something different. So maybe it would be like a magic painting book or whatever it was. Just something extra, something fun that everybody just had a shot at getting something extra. Bonnie was actually in my book club last year. So she has lots of books from this. So that one worked really well for me, but I live really, really rurally, and I really had a hard time finding 10 people that wanted to do it again and again. This is my 3rd year. And so I just decided to not do the hostess of the month club anymore, just because I simply couldn't fill it. So um, I've switched over now and I'm doing a 3-month book club. So most of you've probably seen my graphic that I posted in the group like a month ago or whatever it was, advertising my 3-month book club, which is totally different than what I had been doing before. Before they had to spend $20, they picked out their own books. But this one is just for February, March, and April. And it's $35 a month, or the option to prepay ahead of time and pay $100 for the 3 months, which saves them $5. So instead of paying 105, they're paying 100 up front. Just that was just their choice. I just put it out there, and so a few people did pay up front, and then the rest are just doing monthly, which is fine. I advertised it as newborn to age 13, and then I made up a. Maybe I'll see if I can screen share this. I always do this wrong. Okay. Tell me if you can see stuff like our page. Can you see that? Anybody? Okay. So I made up this Google form for everybody to fill out when they registered. So I put the post out on my page, and I also put this out. So people, if they didn't even have to respond to me on the thing, they could just fill this out and tell me if they wanted to sign up. So I basically copied Sharon Zach's Google form. I changed it a little bit, but essentially they fill this out, and then see up here at the top where it says responses. Then I can just go back and I can click through. pick which person it is, and then all of their answers are over here. So I'll just run through the questions with you. First one is this a gift for somebody? So if somebody like a grandparent or whoever wants to sign up their grandchild or their niece or their nephew or whatever, they could fill this part out: the child's name, the child's age, the parent's email address, delivery address. Is this your first time signing up for book club? Do you have other children in the house who would like to sign up too? Exclusive to the winter book club, you have the option to add up to 2 more children for an extra $11 a month per child added. So it wasn't that these people were all getting like an extra book club membership. The $11 is just a little bit extra money for me to work with. So some people have 5 children in their family who signed up. So for them, giving an extra $11 just gives me a little bit extra money to play around with. So some people added on $11 for one child, some added on 11 for 2 children. So it was an extra $22. And then some people just left it at the 35 a month, and that's fine too. So then it asks them if that's something they want to do, and it gives me the opportunity to get the other kids' names and ages right here, and then tell me about their readers. So what are some of their interests? What do they enjoy reading? Do they have favorite animals? The next one is there anything you want me to avoid? So if they don't want ghost stories, or they don't want pirates or dinosaurs or fairies or whatever, this is where they can tell me what they would not like. This I just threw in: do you have an absolute must-have Usborne book on your wish list that you'd like to include sometime during the duration of the book club? If so, please list it. That way, if there's something they were really hoping for, I can make sure that in one of those 3 months that they're going to get that specific book that they want. And then section 4 just covers the payment. How do they want to pay? And then this is basically just them committing to it. So your books will be hand chosen by me, carefully gift wrapped by me, and lovingly delivered by me. Each package will have a minimum of $40 worth of books. So delivery day for your young reader will be an exciting day. And then right here, they're just agreeing or they are not agreeing. So I put this out. Oh, there's my ad if you wanted to see it. This is what I posted on my page, and then people could just comment. Like I said, I advertised it at $35 a month and promised them $40 worth of books every month, because I just wanted it to be something extra exciting. So I have enough people signed up now that I have a guaranteed party, which means I can use the hostess rewards for extra books. I can use my 30 for 30 for extra books. I can use any of my upgrades for extra books. So I'm not really worried about giving away an extra $5 worth of books per kid. And I also advertised it that I would be covering the shipping. That's going to take up some of my commission. But for me, my purpose for a book club isn't really about the commission. It's about trying to meet my monthly sales quota. I really am obsessed with hitting monthly bonus. And so if I lose a little bit of commission, I'm happy because I'm at least going to make monthly bonus. And that makes up for it for me. So, and it also gets me the sales I need for trips. It also, I don't know. I really like just having the personal sales. So the commission part doesn't bother me too much. I just have some notes here. Payments are always due on the 21st of every month. I choose that very carefully because I know that most people get their baby bonuses or their child tax credits around the 21st. And so people, when they know that they can pay on that day, they're more likely to sign up. Some of them don't have that money left anymore if you're waiting on the 1st of the month or on the 15th of the month. So I always do payment on the 21st, and they know ahead of time that it's due on the 21st. So basically they know that if they do not pay me on the 21st, that when I put the order in on the 22nd, they're not going to get it. So I've never had anybody not fulfill their obligation. In all of my couple of years of doing book clubs, I've never had anybody back out. I've never had anybody not pay. So I'm always just hopeful that I can keep that going. I'm sure it does happen, so don't get discouraged if it does happen. Just make sure that they know that when they sign up. Yeah.
I want a peanut butter jelly.
Why do you always bug me for food in the middle of a Zoom? I swear we just stay separate. Okay, can you get him out of here? Thanks. Okay, so I don't sign up people who are not local because, well, it doesn't make sense. The shipping is too hard because you'd have to direct ship it, and it would be $15 just to ship their books to them. So I just have never really found a way for non-local people to participate in my book club. I do get asked a lot. So the only thing that I tell them, like for this go around, I had lots of people that don't even live in the same province as me that asked if they could be part of this winter book club. And I just said that the only way it would work is if they committed to $50 a month, in which case I would just do a direct ship, pay the $15 shipping out of my commission, and it wouldn't be like the best deal for me, but at least it's a customer. So I would have done it if they committed to 50, but anything less than that, we don't get commission on. So there's just no point. The other option that I threw out at people is that if they were not local and they wanted to sign up, if they had a friend or a neighbor who lived really nearby to them that wanted to also join, I would ship, they could still pay the $35 a month, and I would just ship it to one of their houses. So it would still be a $70 order. It would just get shipped to one house, and I wouldn't be able to wrap it the way I like to. Like I like to wrap them. You can put little tags on them if you want to. But it just makes it really hard if people are not local. So I don't really recommend doing that. But if you do figure out a way that makes sense to you, please let me know, because I have not figured that out yet. I think that's it for the one that I'm doing right now. The other kind of book club that I did was like a summer reading program, and I didn't really get very many kids signed up for it, but I didn't really put a lot of effort into it either. I just kind of put a post on my page seeing if any kids wanted to join my summer reading program. And at that time I still had my hostess of the month club going, and so I just had 3 kids that signed up, so I just put their order in with that one. So it worked out fine. Basically, they signed up their kid and they had to buy a book for their kid that was age appropriate, and it didn't matter how old their kids were. They had to be at least 3 was the minimum. And then so they ordered a book, their kid picked out the book they wanted, they ordered it, I delivered it with a little like a summer reading program worksheet. And so all they had to do was read the book and then fill out the worksheet, and then their mom had to take a picture of it and post it on my page, and that's how they got entered into the little giveaway thing that I did at the end of the summer. It wasn't a huge thing for me, but again, I didn't really put a lot of effort into it. I had a couple kids. I'll do it again. I'm going to definitely try it again, because it's still something extra, and it got kids reading and it was fun. So I would recommend doing that if it's something that interests you. I think that's it. That is all that's on my list. I know that Raylyn does her book club, or did her book club last year a little bit different. She had 6 ladies that paid $40 a month for, was it 6 months? And that worked out well for her too. So basically what you're really wanting to do when you do a book club is that you want to have enough people to make it a party order. So you're looking at a $200 order every time. So you could make it 8 people for $25 a month, whatever, however you want to make it work with your numbers. I just did the 20 because it sounds cheaper, right? Lots of people are like, oh, just $20, that's fine. But you can make it be whatever you want it to be.
Can I jump in too? With mine, because I did a hostess of the month club, so they knew that they were spending $40 each. It ran over 6 months, but they were only spending $40 for 5 of those months. And then one of the months was their host month, which means that month they didn't need to purchase anything. They just got all the host rewards, and it was automatically a qualified party with those 5 other book club members. So they knew that going in that they would have a host month, that they can pick 3 books. I gave them the 30 for 30 as an extra little boost. But then I also gave them the option that on their host month, they could also host their own party to boost their sales and boost their free book credit, because they already knew it was already qualified. But if they added on more sales, they would get more free books. And so I had a lot of ladies do that, and it was great because it boosted my own sales, but it also boosted their books too, so it was a win-win.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm just reading through the questions. Larissa asked, what if they already have a book that I picked out? I typically try to stick to like the newer books that are just released, but I also do just ask them what they have already. So if I know that their kids are really into like the fairy ponies or the fairy unicorns or something like that, I'll ask them which ones they already have. Or like in some of those responses that I got from my Google form that they sent to me, some of them would say like they already have the first two in the Sandy Lane Stable series or something like that. But aside from that, I do typically try to just stick to the newer releases. And I know all these ladies. I know that I'm their book lady, and I kind of in my head know what I've sold them. Um, but I would feel comfortable just asking them too, like, oh, do you already have this? I'm just kind of I'm making a list for you right now. Do you have this one? These are all, I don't want to say they're like good friends of mine, but I know them well enough that I'm comfortable enough to just ask them if I need to, if they already have it or not. Sorry, I'm just trying to read through the questions. Amanda, did you do your book club like a 3-month club?
Hey, sorry, yes, I did, but I only got the few orders, so I just put it on just a party that I was doing.
Okay. Yeah, that's another thing is that I have a lot of stock in my house. So I kind of went into this 3-month club thinking like even if I didn't get enough people to get a big huge order, I have enough books in my own house that I could just wrap up. So I just thought I'd put the idea out there, and I did end up getting, I think, 8 kids signed up. So I do have one super important tip though. You need to private message people, because every one of those book clubs that I filled would not have got filled if I hadn't privately messaged people and asked them if they wanted to join. I think I only ever had like 3 people actually comment on my advertisement on my page saying, hey, sure, I would love to join. Everybody else I messaged that were good customers, or that I just knew that they really liked the books. If they had a kid that I just knew liked the books, I just thought the worst they can say is no. And I did get lots of no's, but I also got enough yeses to make it worth my while. So I really, really, really recommend sending out private messages, just asking people if they're interested in joining. Does anybody else have any questions? Well, if nobody has any questions, then we can just go and be on our way. I will end the recording.